On behalf of the Ohio Chamber of Commerce, I would like to welcome everyone to today's discussion on the future of broadband technology. We have Mr. Mike Eldridge of Tech Orange. Mike is the founder of Tech Orange and has over 15 years experience working with hosted internet technologies. Also on the panel, we have Mr. John McKenna of Blue Mile. Mr. McKenna serves as Executive Vice President and is responsible for Blue Mile's cloud division. Finally, we have Mr. David DeClue, the Assistant Deputy Director in the Office of Information Services at the Ohio Department of Jobs and Family Services. As Ohio continues to rebound from the economic downturn, it is important to focus on the role that broadband has and will continue to play during this recovery. As policymakers continue to explore broadband rollout strategies, we need to be sure that any public policy designed to encourage continued investment in broadband infrastructure creates an environment where everyone has an incentive to invest and innovate. Government programs should be based on public-private partnerships that create incentives for companies to invest in broadband deployment. More than 1 in 4 rural Americans lack access to broadband services, and more than 1.4 million rural Ohio residents do not have access to broadband at speeds greater than 6 megabytes per second. The impact of continued broadband development on rural Ohio cannot be understated. To quote the report, bear with me, this is pretty wordy. Broadband can unlock new opportunities with respect to consumer welfare, civic participation, public safety and homeland security, community development, healthcare delivery, energy independence, education, worker training, private sector investment, entrepreneurial activity, job creation, and economic growth.
There was a 2002 study that was actually done by the U.S. Department of Commerce. And what they did is they went through and examined growth rates of cities based on the availability of broadband to businesses there. And what it found is that where cities had gone ahead and actually had wide availability and wide rollout of broadband, there was more rapid growth, there was more employment, the number of businesses overall greatly expanded. So I think things like the AT&T T-Mobile merger are good. I think things, what other companies are doing to go ahead and reach out and go ahead and expand that broadband network are things that will really go ahead and help out Ohio and help increase the job market in the future for Ohio.
According to a recent study done in March 31st of 2011, the a little bit over 30% of the world's population is on the internet and active users. Now, the U.S. really is way above that line, and they're almost a little bit over 70% or 78% of the U.S. population is active on the internet. Ohio is a little bit lower than that number at this point, with a little under 9 million active users on the internet. That puts Ohio 32nd in the list of states as far as active population of users on the internet, so we have some room to grow. According to another Connect Ohio research report, a 7% increase in adoption would create almost 100,000 jobs. It would save about $3.6 billion worth of cost. It would provide additional benefits and services, and it would really have an annual impact of almost a little over $5 billion to the economy. That's a real good start. I also served some times in the payments industry, so I've been able to see how broadband technology is able to help and really incur more payment solutions for rural parts of Ohio and beyond.
I think it's appropriate that we're here for a couple reasons. First of all, prior to a couple of years ago, the majority of our company's 20 employees at the time resided outside of the state of Ohio, and 95% of our revenue came from outside the state of Ohio. Secondly, the fact that we are working actively with municipal and state economic development organizations, I know is a big topic here, and we can speak to some of the examples there. But we've made significant investments with the fiber assets that we've been able to utilize, both with municipal support as well as the close to 8 figures that we've invested in our own fiber assets, because there wasn't a high availability of affordable fiber here. We can talk to why it's important to get more of it and how we've leveraged it, and we're now up to 50 employees in Ohio alone, and with a commitment to the state to grow that to about 120 or 150 in the next 3 years. And we're having success because of the partnerships we have with the municipalities and with the states. So what we want to talk about with municipalities here in Ohio is that if we can create that kind of density of fiber assets and that idea density, it's going to grow those opportunities for new businesses that are successful.
We're putting in 150 high-definition video conferencing units throughout the state. That takes bandwidth. But it's worth the money that we're investing in it because it'll reduce travel and make people more productive. And the governor came and visited unemployment compensation, and they took him to the call center. And he looked up on this one monitor and he says, "What's going on there?" And they go, "Oh, we're monitoring our first home worker." And we had did a proof of concept, and this person was using this infrastructure that we built, although it was much smaller. And the governor saw it and he goes, "You mean you're teleworking?" And we said, "That's where we're going with this technology." And he goes, "Man, that I like." So we're looking at these types of technology into the future. And we need more bandwidth, and we need it everywhere in the state.